A professional security company has called for the army to be deployed to tackle illegal guns in Cape Town. Police Minister Bheki Cele revealed the Western Cape has the third highest number of gun-related murders in the country. Now, gun violence and gangsterism have been issues in Cape Town for decades, for generations even. To unpack this further, I'm joined by forensic investigator at BizTraces, Kelvin Rafadi. Kelvin, thank you so much for your time. Comments coming from the Minister, Bheki Cele, not comments that we haven't heard before, I'm afraid, with the release of those statistics from the Western Cape. He said at least 83 people were killed in the province last week, with most of the murders in Cape Town itself. And then, according to the police, arguments, robberies and gang violence remain the top cause. But of course, we could argue, if guns were not so easy to come by, those arguments would never get to that stage, would it?
Yes. Thanks for inviting me, Michelle. How are you this evening? What I would say is we need the army. Remember the last time when there was some massacre or illegal mining in Krugersdorp, we said, no, the police, they've got the capability. But now when you speak of Cape Town, this has been an ongoing for decades problem. And because of the trend of the violence, and we definitely need the army to help the police in relation to issues of Cape Town shootings and the gun violence and also the kidnappings in Cape Town.
You've done quite a bit of work looking at how these firearms are able to be distributed. You pointed to the fact that with every bag of Mandrax that's delivered to Cape Town, a gun or firearm is delivered with it. What can you tell us about how that works?
Yes, apparently that's how the modus operandi of this gang, they operate. What they do, in every 10,000 Mandrax that they deliver in Cape Town, remember they come all the way from Gauteng, some from KZN. So it will be accompanied. They will package it with a firearm. Now that firearm, it will be distributed. It's in relation to guarding. The firearm is used to guard, but it's given to juvenile boys to do the shootings. And what they do is they secure their territory. So there are a lot of guns out there at Cape Flats and and Cape Town, around Cape Town itself. Now the problem is, with the police, they do know who are the big gangs, the bosses who are distributing this particular Mandrax. Because you must bear in mind, in Cape Flats, there's a particular gang that deals on distributing Mandrax in Cape Town, in Khayelitsha, and also in town. Now, these particular people, when they fight for territories, those particular guns are now used to guard their territory.
And the distribution of these firearms is indeed key, because you'll find guns appear in the Western Cape that originated elsewhere in the country. And they don't just miraculously appear there. There would have been help along this very intricate distribution process so that this firearm could get from point A somewhere in the country to its destination in the Western Cape. This is not a problem that's going to go away overnight, is it?
No, definitely. It's not a problem that is going to go away overnight. That's what I'm saying. With the modus operandi, I've studied for quite a number of years in relation to how these guns are distributed in Cape Town. Now, it has even gone as far as cigarette smuggling, because you must bear in mind, cigarette smuggling is also a big business, especially in Cape Town, because of some of the wholesalers, they keep this particular types of cigarette, and it's also distributed in the community. So you get your drug lords that are fighting for territories, then you get your cigarette smugglers. But in essence, this is very worrying. That's why I'm saying that the military needs to be deployed to go and help the police. Because if we don't tackle this thing, and Cape Town itself, it's a tourist attraction, we are killing the investment and the touring industry in our country.
It's nothing new that the police do need help, but many would argue that there are bad apples within the police force itself that's helping this problem in the first place.
Yes, that's a good one, especially when you speak of Cape Town. You get the rotten guys in your anti-gang units who are supposed to be dealing with this. Well, I'm not the spokesperson of the police, but what I can tell you, Mr. Bheki Cele, when he spoke about the tattoo issues, big gangs, they identify one another through tattoos as well. and you get a number of police that they know that this is a particular gang, belongs to this one. And they also get protections from the police, and cases are not properly followed. And even worse, I mean, you arrest somebody who's a juvenile with a firearm. I mean, the cases, most of the time, they go nowhere.
Yeah, and so does the firearm then just disappears as well. We've heard enough stories like that. Let's just talk numbers very quickly before I let you go, Calvin. The minister was quoting saying that on the firearms front, the removal of 33 firearms and 538 rounds of ammunition in a week from the streets of Cape Town by the police is welcome. Now, that surely is positive news. But from what we know, 33 firearms and 538 rounds of ammunition, is that a drop in the ocean with what we're actually dealing with here?
Yes, there's a drop in an ocean. And, you know, coming to illegal firearms, I think what the ministry needs to also do is the time after, when they go and destroy these particular firearms, they need to also give us the stats on how many firearms are destroyed, because a lot of firearms, they see the way to the police station in evidence plastics and see their way out. So I think with the ministry, they need to up their game as well in showing us the stats of the firearms that are destroyed, and not even the rusty ones, the ones that are taken from the streets, and we can also see the stats that they are destroyed, because there's also a loophole in that space.
Now, it's not difficult to come by this information. There are experts such as yourself, there are academics, there are researchers. The information is there. We know there's enough known about the modus operandi. What is stopping the police, other than resources, what is stopping the police from making headway in trying to fight this scourge? Or is it political will?
Well, in other instances, it's a political will, but also the informants and the whistleblowers, the police, they don't cater that industry very well. Like I was telling my team today that, you know, you go to the head of, the head office of the Hawks, which is organized crime. You go and report, you want to go and report a certain crime, but you get a private security guy, personnel down there guarding the building. They want to interrogate you before you can even reach the office to say why are you there to report a particular matter. And some people, they tend to, you know, make a U-turn and say, you know what, I cannot enter that office. It's so well guarded, and I'm not even sure if my information will be taken seriously.
We're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for that. BizTrace's forensic investigator, Calvin Rafadi, joining us virtually then.